Breakfast with John Gill and Sheriff.
Somebody say one, somebody say two, somebody say three, somebody say mash up this party. Somebody say jump, somebody say wait, somebody say take out something and start to mash up the place. It's like to jump up and ting, 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 hey, ting, 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 hey, ting, 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 hey. It's like to wind up and ting, 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 hey, ting, 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 ting. Raise your hand and show me anything. Everybody sing boy, take a jump and go, take a wine and go. Roll your behind up, it's carnival again, baby. Put your rags up and put your flags up. Hey, jamming can't stop, it's carnival again, baby. Look, ting, all kind of ting, real ting, big ting, small ting. Check out the ting, 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 ting. Carnival is jumping, waving, and everybody misbehaving. Let the soca music blazing and ting, 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 ting. Hey, head down the party swinging and battling people singing and rock bang the iron ringing and ting. Hey, DJ play the rhythm and pump it right. Together them with the bumper bumping. What the man and them with the band they jumping. Carnival again, so you gotta put something up. And in the air, back in the air, back in the air, back in the air, back in the air and sing. This time to jump up and ting, 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 hey, ting, 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 hey, ting, 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 hey. It's time to wind up and ting, 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 hey, ting, 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 ting. Raise your hand and show me anything. Everybody sing, boy. Take a jump up, boy. Take a wind up, boy. Roll your behind up. It's carnival again, baby. Put your rags up and put your flags up. Hey, jamming can't stop. It's carnival again, baby. Look, ting, all kind of ting, real ting, big ting, small ting. Check out the ting, 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 ting. When you see the big truck come down and all the masqueraders run down and Tuesday morning pass the mud down and ting, 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 ting. Hey, hey, girl, it's sweet like honey. Play your mask and pay your money. Take a wine about somebody, man, sing. When it's carnival time, you gotta pick up the run again. Ready to the road and we getting on bad again. Picking up a soul, we jumping it hard again. Jumping, waving, and we man again. And in the air, back in the air, back in the air, back in the air, back in the air and sing. This time to jump up and ting, 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 hey, ting, 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 hey, ting, 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 hey. It's time to wind up and ting, 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 hey, ting, 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 ting.
38 minutes after the hour of 12 o'clock, and welcome to Legends and Legacies.
Yes.
And we are back after a little hiatus.
Small one,
Yeah.
not too long.
So we are back.
And we have a particularly special guest this afternoon. Most of you probably know already, but you just big up yourself one time now, man.
Well, I don't know. John Gill calls me Patrick Vybe Gordon. Other people just call me Patrick Gordon, who know me from these Showtime journalist days,
Right.
and through my mom and stuff. And then
Everybody else is
people
calling.
from the caravan just call me Vybe, because
Right.
I was only Vybe back then. But
Right.
most people know me as Mr. Vybe.
That's what
Mr.
he said.
Vybe, yeah.
That is what he's saying. So welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
How you been?
I'm good, you know. I can't complain.
They're
on
rocking
things.
back in your house, keeping
Yeah,
it
so we
simple,
were just talking
quiet.
about that off the air. Yeah,
Yeah.
I am an only child, so being home alone is great for me.
You're ducking everybody, you're
yeah,
just
that's my
cool.
default setting. I good.
Never had
Yeah.
to share no toys, nothing like, you know.
Yeah, and I just finished building a studio home too, so you don't know.
That is
You don't know.
Yeah, we're not going to see it. So,
Yeah.
so thanks for taking the time
Yeah.
out to come and check me,
Thanks a
because
lot, boy, Vybe.
I
No
know
scene,
probably
man.
I'm not going to see it till August or some kind of
You know,
thing,
but there are people who they know the different thing. They know Patrick Gordon, or they might know Mr. Vybe.
different
Yeah.
thing for the road that he do.
Yeah, and that was Vybe.
Yeah.
Thing for the Road, big song.
Yeah.
Back in what year?
2006.
2006.
Carnival 2006.
Yeah, big song, big song. But I want to start off. How did you get into music? At what age? How did it all begin?
The what age is hard only because I don't ever remember not being involved in music, liking music, wanting to do music.
Yeah.
So for me, it have two different levels of it. As a child, I always sang. I sang. My mom has cassettes of me where she recorded it. She put the cassette in the little tape deck and recorded me standing up on the dining room table when I was maybe 4 or 5 and singing Sesame Street songs until performing for the family or whoever friends were over. And then there's choir and stuff in primary school, Tunapuna Boys RC. Music festival, all them kind of thing, classical choir, folk choir. I sang in the Tunapuna Methodist Church with the Boys Brigade Choir. Did some acting back in them days too. So there's always been that music classes. I took piano voice, classical voice. I took some drumology from Malik Folk Performers, thanks to my mom when I was maybe 9 or 10. So there's all of that in my childhood. And then in my teen years, I was rapping, I would dance on party time, I lip sync, I rap. I was in a rap group.
You're on party time?
Yeah, party
part
time.
Of which
our
crew?
generation, if you wasn't on party time, you wasn't serious.
You was
What
saying
part
nothing.
of which crew?
Several different iterations. The first time I went on party time was to dance with my partner Anton Lewis, and we formed a crew called Step 2. So we were dancing and lip syncing. At that time they only had the lip sync category.
Right.
And that's when I met people like Ricardo, who's now a jazz singer.
Right. Ricardo, yeah.
Yeah. And Andy Stevenson, all these people.
Right.
First time I met Denise Belfort, Sonel Dempster, a lot of people that later circled back.
Right.
But started off dancing and lip syncing. Then the second year they had the open category, which is a big thing. You could have sing and dance and things. So then the open category, me and Anton kept the Step 2 name and we started rapping. So we had a little rap crew. Then later on, by the time I was 15 or 16, my first girlfriend and her best friend, who was also Anton's girlfriend, formed a crew called Mixed Emotions, and we went up for party time to lip sync and dance again. And then when I aged out at 18, because at that time you couldn't enter party time if you were over 18, but a lot of us like me, Ricardo, that were older and had been doing it for years, choreograph and manage groups and stuff. So I managed a new version of the Mixed Emotion group with Miss Alicia was in that group, Marka was in that group.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was right in the early days of blackmail too. So
Okay,
so there was the party time era. Then I joined M Voice with Shell Shock, and we were performing in little school bazaars and thing. It was like
And M Voice was a band?
Yeah, it was a band.
It was four y'all.
It was
4 or 5?
Yeah, it was like 5 or like 6 if you count.
I just vaguely remember seeing a picture or looking pseudo cool, lean up on like a
80s
Datsun or
cool.
something.
80s cool,
Yeah,
height of face
yes,
and
dog,
thing, yeah.
lean up and shells like that.
Yeah, so I was in this band. I went to this. Ironically, when I left home to come here, Neil Swanston from Electro Sounds was talking to my mom by the gate, and I waved to him and I left. Neil. Electro Sounds was like one of those hubs for youth. So you used to sell cassettes. You could get your Howie T and your Dr. Hyde and your whatever cassettes. So all of us used to go there to buy cassettes. And then one day I went there to buy a cassette and Shell Shock was there. So he was there programming on a drum machine. We had never seen this before, Anton and myself. And this was right when we were rapping. So we were like, he making beats, we rapping it perfect. And so Neil had allowed him to use the drum machine and the mixing board and do beats and stuff. So that's how I ended up hooking up with Shock now. And at that time, Dwayne, who is now Sky, recording at Sky, Dwayne, who I had known again from party time, he was in a group called Sugar and Spice. He had lip syncing and stuff. I think he had won the semis or something. Dwayne was the lead singer, but Dwayne was a little hype now. Dwayne was popular, so Dwayne had all kind of things going. He had his own gigs plus M-Boys gigs, and he wasn't always balancing out with them. So they needed a new vocalist. So Shock was like, well, Patrick was rap and sing, but he could sing too. So they put Patrick in the group, and they was like, all right, we'll try it. And I ended up being the vocalist. And so we did a bunch of school bazaars and stuff. And then Shock, long story short, Shock got a job in CSB as a producer.
As a producer. And the rest is...
Yeah, the rest is pretty much history from there.
All right, so I have somebody on the phone. Hello, good morning, welcome. Nice to... thanks for taking the time. Hello.
Hi, John.
Hi. How are you? You should see his face. You can see his face. So, Mrs. Gordon, how are you?
I'm very fine, John.
No, I just called her to have a conversation, and she gave me some stories that had to be heard. You understand? So, now, he gave us a kind of... No, I want you to share with us, Mrs. Marilyn Gordon, mom of Patrick Gordon, for those who don't know. That transition, when, the story you told me about when he decided to do music full time. You want to share that story with us?
Oh, yes, of course. So he was working on Showtime. It was the entertainment magazine at the time. He was a young journalist, considered to be one of the better journalists. He was following his father's footsteps. But they had gotten some work to do for Robert. I think it was before they went down to meet them. Anyway, I would pick him up and I drop him in the morning to go to work when I'm on my way to work. And when I'm coming up, I go and pick him up and take him over to the studio. And then he would work in the studio and then he'd find his way home or somebody go and get him. So, but I had great plans. It's my only child, right?
You're right.
So I had great plans for him to go to university. So I was taking up
like
for that,
any parent.
you know?
Yeah.
And then I said to him, I looked at him coming out of the studio, the news environment, to go to the studio, and every time he went, there was a story. The man didn't want, the editor didn't want him to leave. He gave him some extra work to do, and you know those kinds of people who feel that young people mustn't do what they wanted.
Yeah.
So I said, well, if I have to send him to university, he ain't going to university. Sure he ain't going to university. I found the university where they do sound engineering and all that. He ain't taking me on at all. So I tell myself, I will give him an allowance equivalent to what he would have gotten if he was at university. It will be cheaper, actually.
Right.
So he could do his music.
Right.
So I want to pick him up the afternoon, and he come in the car, and he looking kind of a little strange at me. I said to him, Patrick, I know I was thinking, if I give you an allowance, then you could go to the studio all the time. He said, well, yeah, that'll be good, yeah. I just want to tell you, I just fired the work because the man was giving me more pressure again.
Oh, gosh, perfect timing.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
But he always wanted to do his music.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. You have my support.
Yeah. That's solid, man.
Yeah. It's good to have your parent support because, you know, and at the time, Mrs. Gordon, you were full into the politics and you have a son who, you know, want to do music. You know, some parents may be, nah, you gotta go to school.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Most
so
parents.
It was admirable that you decided, look,
To still
if this is what
support.
you want to do,
Yeah.
I'm supporting.
Yeah, big facts.
Yeah.
Oh, well, once he showed the kind of dedication he was showing to that John, I didn't have a choice really.
Facts.
You just have to go along with it.
Yeah,
you know your child. You know your child.
Yeah.
So, Vybe, what would have been the very first recording you would have done? That would have been at CSBS.
I want to see again. It was what is considered recording. Because when we were in the band room with M Voice, one of the main reasons I joined the band was because Shock had the drum machines for the band, keyboards and everything, hooked up along with turntables and a cassette deck and everything in the band room. So before he would make beats, we would come and freestyle and rap and stuff, and then I'd had to leave because the band would have to rehearse. But then when I was in the band, I could be there before and after rehearsals, and he would play beats, and I would come up we would like write songs together, and I would sing them, and he would record them on the cassette, and that was our first demos.
Right.
And then later on, I don't know if people can remember when they had the CNC Music Factory concert in the stadium.
Right.
Question Mark Entertainment, which is Simon and Carlin, big them up, had a competition for the local youths, a talent competition, and whoever won that competition was gonna get
To open
for the show. So that was a big thing. So all of us who were on party time, rapping, singing, wherever, and us in M Voice, all that kind of thing, everybody entered. Sister Run had entered.
Right.
102 WRS-FM had entered. Most of the people a lot of the people that ended up on the caravan had entered. We ended up coming third, right? But Colin Lucas was one of the judges, and Colin was like, you all have real potential. I really like all your vibes and stuff. Even though you all came third, I have a little home studio home. If you all want to use the studio when I'm not using it, you all could go ahead. So then we started recording demos in his studio, but that was still his drum machines, his thing, to a cassette. And then when Shock got, after that, through that situation, Shock started making beats for Kindred and Guitorians and all these people. And then Guitorians had gotten signed to CSB, and they brought Shock through to start to make beats because the people that they had there making beats was making what we was calling old people beats.
Right.
It wasn't like hip and fresh and thing for the 90s. So then they brought in Shock to make beats, and once Shock got there, Robert Amar and them realized this kid really talented, and we need to lock him down one time. So he got a job as an in-house producer, and his first thing that he said to them was, I would take the job on the condition that I could bring my group and we could do demos. And if I like the demos, well, they can sign us. If not, we shop it someplace else.
Yeah.
So then we started making like full demos with like 8-track, 12-track, 14-track. And then eventually we got to do some demos in Studio A with like a 64-track tape. And so it's levels of where's your first recording.
Yeah.
Everything is levels.
All right, so you know what? I'll just play the song and you'll give me the history after. Yeah. It always helps to do this.
It always helps when you play it.
When
We
help,
can
bro.
press and play does help.
Yeah, when you
Yeah.
put it on the right
Yeah.
on the right side.
Skinny
Move the
caravan,
feeder.
boy.
Move the
Wait.
feeder. Move the feeder.
Went in the archives for that.
Right, so this was 90s.
Yeah, this is 1993. We would have recorded like end of 92, but 93-ish. When the Kiss Kitty, this was one of the songs on the Kiss Kitty Caravan, Kiss
Right.
Kitty Jams album. This is Step 2, the group that continued the legacy, Step 2.
Out of party time.
Yeah, well, my partner Anton, who I went party time with and was in the rap group when I first met Shock, once I joined the band, he wasn't actually always, he didn't see how we could, as rappers, like professionally rap now.
Right.
All right, yeah.
In the 80s, 90s, that was nothing. So once I joined the band, he was like, well, big up yourself, Patrick, you seem more serious than me. And well, good luck, I go down and do my thing.
Yeah.
So, and then we left school and different things. So we kind of lost touch, but was always cool, always talk and stuff.
Yeah.
And I kept doing music and he kind of went to the side. And then when the caravan happened, what a lot of people didn't know behind the scenes was once Robert Amara told Shock, okay, the No Compromise album was successful. That was the album with General Grant,
Right.
Shot Call, Sister Run,
Right.
Come, featuring General Grant, Gettorians,
Kindred.
Round and Wrong, and Kindred, the Shrenika Flow. Those songs were like the biggest thing in Trinidad at that time. And Robert was like, yo, that was so big last year, we had to go bigger and better next year. We're going to do 16 songs, 16 different acts. So Sister Run had flew out, so she couldn't be included at that time. So it was the original 3 plus 13 others.
Right.
Obviously, we were already in the studio doing demos and stuff, so we done
Inside.
inside technically. Shock was like, obviously my group had to be in it.
Yeah,
Robert
yeah.
was like, yeah, send my demo, we go work it out. And then Shock then drafted me because I was good at writing and arranging, so I had a good sense of this is what will make this song make sense. And the lyrical melody end.
Yeah.
So almost everybody's session, with the exception of Kindred and Gettorians, every other session, Shock would call me to be in the session.
Yeah,
to,
right. Cool,
He would let them sing down whatever the idea of the song was. He would start building the beat. He would give them a copy of the basic idea of the beat and send me and them in another room and be like, fix up the song for them. I like the beginning, but sort it out from there.
Right, okay.
So
like
I
the
would help
resident
arrange.
writer.
And then on top of that, now almost all the backgrounds I involved in.
Right.
A lot of the song. And then there was this song now, Step 2. We had called Anton and said, Anton, boy, they have now. You could get a blind. You have a group. He was like, no. I was like, but your girl to sing. He's like, yeah, all right, well, bring a girl. You and the girl go be Step 2. It go be cool. So Janelle had this idea for the rhythms, got me going crazy. So
Yeah.
Shaka built the kind of house beat around that because that techno house was happening then. and
Yeah.
Anton had like Anton wrote the rap verses.
CNC Music Factory kind of vibe.
Yeah, that was happening at the time.
At the time, yeah.
So Shaka built the beat to go with that. He's like, that's a good vibe. But everybody else was doing dancehall and like rap and like hip hop, rap, hardcore rap.
Yeah.
So that one house song was like a nice change.
Yeah.
So Shock did that. Anton came up with the verse. They started recording it. I was there helping them with the arrangement and stuff. And then at some point, Shock was like, I still feel like the hook needs something to make it more lively and make it more appeal to like our generation kind of thing. Because it's still kind of Yankee-ish song.
Yeah.
You know? And so he was like, Patrick, go in the booth and just chant something that go be like a second hook. I did a sub hook.
Yeah.
And so that's why I went in the booth and chanted, mad off the rhythm. Mad off the...
Right. And that kind of give it that Caribbean feel.
Yeah, he wanted it to have that still...
a balance.
Yeah, a balance.
Yeah,
that was something he always wanted to be like, we're not trying to not be from Trinidad.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, so
That's
how that ended up.
What I have a question for you and for Mommy Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
What was both of y'all's reaction when you brought home like your first, not your first demo, like your first release that was like, wow, okay, this one kind of, this post party time, you're in CSB now and you're doing stuff, whether it is yours or you're involved in a song that like made a big splash, and you bring it up and you say, hey mommy, what should I do that? What was the reaction on both sides? I want to hear from you and I want to hear from
Let me hear from Mommy
Let me hear
first.
from her first, yeah. I'm curious to hear that too.
Hello?
Well, yeah. Well, I was not very surprised because he's been surprising me over the music thing. You know,
Yeah.
I had to go music festivals to know he could sing. You know what I mean? Because he sings the solo.
Yeah.
But I thought, okay, well, all right, I like it. Okay. And that was it.
You remember which song it was?
No, I don't.
She can remember
Yeah,
that.
she wouldn't remember.
She can remember that.
But how it was for you? Like the first one that was like, oh, this is
And
going
you hear yourself on the radio.
Yeah.
The first one that I
you,
was like...
that you remember, yeah.
I think the first one would have probably been the song that we did for the caravan, Everybody
Go. Which we're going to play
Yeah,
next.
yeah.
Right. okay,
When we
okay.
did that, ironically, we had, because I was so busy helping Shock work on everybody else song,
Yeah.
the day when Shock started mixing down songs, so like Larry said the deadline is tomorrow and Shock started mixing down songs today,
Yeah.
somewhere around lunchtime the day before the deadline, Shock was like, Patrick, we do a song for us. I was like, oh, shucks.
Right.
So we kind of
Oh,
came up with
shucks.
Everybody Go at the last possible minute, and it was kind of us being like, okay, we have all these different styles, how we go stick out and
yourself.
be different, and that's why he did like the circus somebody dun 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 dun,
Okay.
and we kind of mixed rap song and rap, and at that time we was listening to like Das Effects and stuff.
Right.
So that was where all the nursery rhymes and the hibbity jibbity jabbity, that was like
Yeah.
happening to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I played it for Mommy, and Mommy was like, I don't understand it, but it sounds very professional. And then about a week later, she was like, I heard your song on the radio about 4 times today. And I was like, yeah,
It's playing.
yeah. So
I love
she was happy at that point.
Is the song.
Well, now, shoot the chopping like a cleaver. My police got the way to pull the lever. Leave us a boomer like a shakalaka. Somebody stop it! Thanks, I needed that. And now I correct the rapping. The wine is overheating. Well, to tell you the truth, I really don't give a damn because I'm slamming with a set to all the nerds like going round, diddy round like a circle. The vibe, that's BYBE vibe has a rival. Can I swing it? You can swing it. Ring, do your thing, but look, just shut up and look. Here a hook, there a hook, everywhere a hook. Microphone, chickity checking in a second. I'll be wrecking a funky, wicked, bad, swing from Trini, swag. We all live in a capital I short for island, bye, man. I'm chickity jamming, yo, with that niggity stamina. Yep, aha. I hip, I hopper, I trip, I jumper. The stop. I do believe the pie is cooked, so here a hook, there a hook, everywhere a hook.
Everybody Go. And that's the song of... but this would later be used by Blackmail? Or... This was actually, yeah.
Yeah, because what happened was, again, Shock, myself, Marka had joined the band later on because once we started doing demos and stuff, we were more focused on songs than performing cover songs anymore. We weren't performing and singing, just trying to get a deal. So we brought in Marka as a rapper because at the time he used to hang out with us anyway, and it was the in thing to have like a singer and a rapper was like the happening thing. So once Marka came in the group, and then Romel Best, who still does produces music, does ads and stuff, he's still coming to do ads sometimes, was the leader of the band and the keyboardist, but he was more focused on like his day job and whatever. Gavin, to his brother, was the bass player. They were more focused on like the day job, and again they didn't really see how it would have translated to like a career. Whereas we were just obsessed. We gotta make more shots, we gotta get a deal, we're gonna get a major label deal. Everybody's like, how sweet? So they weren't that serious. So eventually they were like, you know what, let's go ahead or let's thing. Yeah. And out of respect for them, because M-Voice was really Romel's band that Sheldon Shock had joined. So out of respect for Romel and saying, Shock was like, we can't keep calling ourselves M-Voice, so we could change the name, and Shock came up with the name Blackmail and spell it BLAKMAYL just to be different. So the Blackmail thing was like Shock trying to emulate. At that time we were obsessed with Teddy Riley and the whole producer. But he have a group. He have a signature song, so that was how Shock. He's producer. He have a group. He had this video, this swing from Trinidad thing. So that was our whole.
It's a vibe.
Nice vibe. And we're going to get ready to take a short break, and we're going to be back. But fuel your wealth with a few millions. The Lotto Plus jackpot has rolled to an estimated $2.4 million. With so much money you could pocket, your pocket will never be on E. Splurge on some premium real estate, pump some diesel in your new 4x4 truck, or feel super as you visit your favorite destination. Anything is possible with a massive $2.4 million in your tank. Plus, if you match 5 numbers, you can win $50,000. Pull up to the nearest booth and fill up on your tickets for Saturdays. That's today's $2.4 million Lotto Plus jackpot. Remember, winners always play Lotto Plus. We'll be back.
This is Captain Amplia speaking. Mission to more offers real excitement. Preparing for launch. More entertainment.
That's a go.
More speeds.
That's a go.
Much more value.
That's a go. You got the clear to launch. 3, 2, 1. Blast off. Join the mission to more with Amplia. Sign up in March and get more speed, more value, more great offers. Get up to 100 megabits per second free and up to 25% off for 3 months when you sign up for selected single, double, or triple play packages. Visit amplia.co.tt to learn more or call 800-HOME-4663 to sign up today. Amplia, powered by B-Mobile.
Backed by popular demand, COVID Carnival Comedy, one show Queen Soul, one show Naparima Bowl, plenty drama, plenty laughter, plenty bacchanal. Saturday 5th Queen Soul, Saturday 12th Naparima Bowl, showtime 7:30 p.m. For tickets, call Queen Soul Box Office 376-5699 or South 338-6024. COVID Carnival Comedy is a safe zone.
Shortly, darling.
Take bamboo, girl, in your safe zone.
Hello. That kind of show is not that kind of show.
Reset expectations.
Okay, so who can give me another word for refreshed? Renewed.
Revitalized.
Recalibrated.
Big word. Nice.
Reset and reimagined. Like
Caribbean
Airlines.
You're ready to fly again too, right?
We're taking to the skies with a refreshed experience that captures all that it means to be Caribbean. Vibrant, warm, colorful, energetic. Reset and get ready to reconnect.
Keep up that bright spark and maybe we'll go sooner than you think.
Like a reward?
For everything you do, Caribbean Airlines, we got you.
Welcome to Legends and Legacies with John Gill and Sheriff.
Who's gonna make that? Who's gonna make that dance rhyme? Who's gonna make it? Who's gonna make it? Put up on no hand. Who's gonna make that? Who's gonna make that dance rhyme? Black man is in effect, so better put up your hand. Well, now I'm chopping like a cleaver.
And, you know, we can't do this and not big up Sheldon Benjamin, better known as Shell Shock.
Sheldon Shell
The
Shock.
creator of all these beats that in the 90s defined Trinidad and Tobago.
More than just the beats, like the whole movement, the whole confidence, the motivation behind it for everybody to kind of be expressive in totally different ways. As we were just saying, most people, and it still happens now, like most people still feel like, we should kind of fall into this. Once you do music here, Shell Shock really did business, as you say.
From the day I met Shell Shock, Shock had a very clear vision of this is the direction I need to go, this is what needs to happen. And I still don't understand where it came from, but it was just something that was innate in him. He was always very we need to do music, like music for people our age that young people could enjoy. You know, but also we don't need to emulate to try and be fake American or fake British or fake Jamaican.
Be yourself.
And that,
you know, to do dance or to do hip hop or to do techno or to do R&B. We could do it and still keep the core of us.
And that's the thing, like when you're getting into music, like fresh now starting off, you always want to make stuff that you would want to listen to and want to make stuff that your friends and your brethren, your peer group want to listen to. And as I was saying before, like I personally will big up Robert Amar and the whole team for that movement on Shock, because usually things would hinder you in that, but they just kind of tell Shock, hey, big, do you want now, boy, big man?
Because remember, they wanted to move away from the norm.
Exactly.
And create something new.
And that was smart for it was a win-win. Like
I think once the No Compromise album came out and Shot Call got so big, Sister Run, everything got so huge. I think at that point, Robert and them didn't fully understand the science of it, but they knew something major was happening. They couldn't deny it. So at that point, because all through that time, Shock got a lot of "you sure?" and I don't know, and what this weird, and when the records were now coming out. But once those records got big, after that, Shock had a certain authority where they were like, I understand him. If Shock says so, all right,
exactly.
You know what you're doing.
How around that time, like when you started doing all this music with Shock, how did that affect other your peer group in this space? What did you see happen to the music industry here? That positive and negative? Anything that you thought was weird?
The main thing was that all of us, it was like a group exhaling, it was like a community exhaling.
Like
because I remember before Shock came in, before No Compromise, Shot Call, Sister Runner Come, Just Trini Could Flow became like the three biggest songs for the year, that year, I think 92. When before those songs completely dominated to the point where when Kindred and Sister Run and Grant opened for CNC, not CNC Music Factory, for any Black Box or whoever, anybody they opened for, they were the show. They got more followers than anybody who came to perform after, no matter how big they were. That was how popular it was in Trinidad. And at that point, for youths, this was also the point when we had the first urban station in the country. Because before that point,
it didn't have any.
It was like literally the only time as young people we would hear music that we were into was either after midnight or you know, on a public holiday when all the main DJs off doing their thing. So for us to have our music whole day on a station was one thing. Then we had this movement of local artists too. So then there's that. And then Shock defined the sound and made everybody vocally represent Trinidad, whether they're chanting in a dance or whether they're rapping, whether they're singing house, whether there's R&B. He was always, but you had a sound like Trini, don't try and fake it. So that too, it was a whole wow, this is us, and it's so good to experience us. So there was that. And then as far as my peer group, my whole peer group by that time was just other people who was doing what I was doing, other rappers, other people trying to produce other musicians. So
it felt like that generation, that generation got a breather. Like they get not just an opportunity, but like at least we could kind of.
And we had the added thing of, and look what we could do when you just give we a chance. You give me a little blind, and look, your Sister Grant, Sister
Ron, General Grant, Kindred, this one,
So it was just like, you see?
No. And the stars basically aligned because they had party time flowing into CSB, flowing into the radio station, which would have been Yo 98.9.
Radio 98.9,
Now, so you begin writing a lot.
Yeah, but that was always the thing that I was the dual. I was good at vocals, so I was always lead vocalist for everything.
Yeah.
But then also I was good at writing, so other people would be like, help me with this. And Shock especially would be like, Patrick, what's wrong with this? I can't understand what's wrong with this. Fix that day while I organize the beat, kind of. He was very impatient because his vibe was like, as soon as he be done, he ready to record. And if you're not ready to record, you keeping him back.
else.
So he was very organized, the lyrical side of it, because I'm going to be finished this beat in about half an hour. So like...
And then Blackmail drops their album.
Yeah, we
At
after
graduation?
the Caravan. The album was Oh Yeah without compression.
Right.
It was called that because Shock recorded the whole album he didn't have the use of a compressor.
Right.
So for the vocals and stuff.
Yeah.
He only had one compressor and he used it for drums.
Right.
Because in those days it was all rack equipment.
Rack,
He didn't have no software
and,
compressors.
And you had one.
Yeah,
and
so he had one and he was like, I need it for the drums because my drums done hard already.
Yeah.
So when recording that album, all the vocals that I did, which is all the vocals, I had to like move back from the mic. I had a real because we didn't have a compressor.
Wow, yeah.
Anybody that into production and audio would be
They know about vocal technique.
So we literally called it without compression because Shock was so proud that he got the album to song professional without the thing. But what happened was after we did the Caravan and the song was popular and stuff, Robert and them got a distribution deal to release the CD of the Caravan songs in Europe. And when they released it in Europe, to their surprise, despite Trinidad and everybody else being popular here,
Blackmail was
the song that everybody gravitated to in Europe because of all the references and the circle sample and all that stuff was our song.
Go.
Right.
So Robert was like, everybody really interested in all your song, and Robert was like, do some demos for me, and he set up a room upstairs that wasn't supposed to be a studio, but Shock turned it into a studio. He was like, hey, Shock, have your own room, because at that point Shock was still sharing a studio with other people.
Yeah.
Because at that time,
was doing shifts.
and that's painful because at that time you had people like Sean, Puffy Combs,
yeah,
Teddy Riley.
Yeah, you had those people in Studio A and Studio B. And then on the second floor, you had a bunch of smaller pre-production studios, but still Neil was there, Andrew, there was a bunch of other in-house producers. So Shock had shifts.
Sean Poulin was still kind of
engineering. So there was a bunch of other, Ken Holder was a producer. So there's a bunch of other people he was sharing space with, and Shock was like, I need my own room to do things.
Right.
So he took a room upstairs that was supposed to be just a spare room on the auditorium level.
Yeah.
And he turned that room into a full studio. And then once Robert was like, we'll do some demos and we go talk about doing an album. Shock went, album? And so Shock said to me,
he went album mode one time.
Shock said to me, Robert and them going to take General Grant and Ricardo Guy James and a bunch of other people to meet them, which was a big music conference in France in a couple of months. This was like the January, and we're going to meet them in February.
Yeah.
Shock was like, so are giving us a week. We have a bunch of ideas that we start and halfway do.
Yeah.
Let me just do an album. We go pick the 10 best songs. We do an album. I was like, okay, I know that in retrospect, doing an album in a week is a mad people thing.
Yeah.
But at the time, again, we had no concept of like
time.
what right and what wrong.
Yeah.
We just were very
ambitious.
We were driven. We were very like, we could do this.
Yeah.
So we did the album, turned in the attention. We went downstairs and played for Robert, and Robert was like, so the album done? And I was like, we were like, yeah. And he was like, he played it. He started bringing everybody else in the office, John Afun, Gary Doe, everybody else in the office, and played it for them. And they were like, wait, Blackmail album kind of hard.
Okay.
So the album ended up getting released here, and we went to meet them.
Nice.
Which ended up getting us a major label deal.
Yes, exactly.
And
which is a whole other story by
one
itself.
of the other tracks of what was it?
Oh yeah, Without Compression by
Pressure.
Blackmail.
that if you were with me, then we would be so happy. My love, I wanna give it all to you. My love, I wanna give it all to you. Yes, I do. My love, I wanna give it to you. 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 Girl, if you will give me half a chance, explore the things we could do with our romance. The pain I feel when you're not by my side. The love I have is something that I just can't hide. Girl, I thought so you won't pass me by.
Now, right, so this is out of the Caribbean Song Basin. This is 93? 90.
Yeah, late 90, well, early 94 really. Yeah.
All right, good. The sound of Blackmail, which comprised of course,
Shell Shock Benjamin Vibe.
Mhm.
Before I was Mr. Vibe, just VYBE.
Marker Wright.
MC Marker back
MC
in the day.
Marker Wright.
Marker. And Chris Ullery, who used to go by Jazz at that time.
Chris Ullery.
Yeah.
That's right.
He was like the Devante swing in the group. What does he
Right.
do?
Yeah.
I don't know, but he's cool.
No.
And we have Marker on the line.
Yeah.
Marker.
Good afternoon, Vibe.
Afternoon. How you doing, brother? What's up?
Good.
Sheriff is here with us as well.
Hey, Sheriff, how you doing?
Yeah, who's best boy?
So,
cool.
you know, we're talking to Patrick about blackmail, and we can't do blackmail without, you know, talking to you. I'm sorry to have a number for Chris. I used to have Chris's number, you know.
But, you know.
Yeah. Maybe
the Eyes Are Next show.
Oh,
yeah.
The Eyes Are Old show.
Yeah, so you know, we're talking about the album. Without compression. Tell us what you remember about this and when it first hit the streets and people were like, "Wait."
Well, without compression. Without compression came from. The title came from, we were given an opportunity by Robert Amar that if we could produce an album for him in 10 days, we will accompany him to France, meet him in 95. So this is late 94.
Yeah.
And being up in Amar, CSB, Caribbean Song Basin at the time, with all the technology and stuff in the building, we could safely say we were getting some facts. Blackmail was not the most loved young black fellas because some people thought that, you know, we were a little too privileged or given too much leeway by Mr. Roberts.
Yeah, we only get through because we shock group now. It's not like we're talented or nothing. Yeah.
Right? So when time to do this album, we couldn't get a compressor in that whole building to use.
The whole building, you can find one for vocals.
One compressor, yeah. We all of a sudden everything just, you know?
Disappear, yeah.
Yeah. So we locked ourselves in a room, in shock room for 10 days, or 8 days.
Yeah, about 8 days.
There we just worked and we produced this product. And when we were comfortable with it, we called Mr. Amar, Robert across to take a listen. And he heard 3 songs. And the third of which was Oh Yeah. And by the time he heard Oh Yeah, he started scratching his arm and splashing it and say yes, yes, yes.
Yep, that's
yes.
it.
And that was it. My first trip out of Trinidad and Tobago was to France.
Nice, man. And of course, all the lyrical content written by Patrick Vybe.
Yeah.
Bono.
That guy.
We contributed, you know.
We all did.
We did it.
Yeah, man.
In a way, he kind of contributed.
Yeah, we kind of there, you know, kind of a line or two in it, you know.
Yeah.
No, but it was a group effort.
Yeah.
It was a tremendous group effort. You know?
So, Mark, I know you're busy, but I'm happy I got you and you'll be able to, you know, at least share that with us. You know, brother, and we have work to do, though, you and I. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We
Yeah,
keep
man.
trusting our. We keep trusting one another.
Yeah.
I work with you. If you only mess up, I work with you. We ain't working yet, but we need to work.
We will.
We need to find the time and
Yeah, man.
fucking do.
Thanks, Marka. All the best.
All right. Have a good one, fellas.
The title song. True story.
This is the title track.
Yep. Oh yeah. O
All
dash
right,
YEH and an
yeah.
exclamation mark.
Mommy Gordon, you're still on the line there for sure, right?
Yes, I am.
Your baby bird do so much work in such a short space of time. I know the man in France. Where your mind at now? Because you was just trying to get this man a few years ago, just trying to give him a little allowance to make sure to keep his dream alive and thing. Now the man release an album in France talking about major label thing. Like there's a real swing. There's a very short space of time. Where your mind space is at this point in time, because as a parent, you want to support, but you kind of, you might be a little skeptical on the landscape, how far you could really reach, how you could do. And the man come out and are going to naturally assume he supersede the expectations by probably 100%. But where your mind was at that point in time?
No, he didn't. I am supersede my expectations.
I like to hear that. I like to hear
lies.
But wait, what was your process? Your emotional process then?
I was making sure that I made whatever had available for him to do what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
Because I was admiring him, because I grew up in a world where you're supposed to leave school, get a job, and get paid every month.
Yeah, exactly.
And he was prepared to go and do what he wanted to do, what he pledged to do, and he was doing it well.
Right, yeah.
So when Medium came up, he will tell you about how we got there. But when Medium came up and they had to get to France,
yeah,
I got a job, an unpaid job.
Right.
Yeah. We drafted her as the group manager.
Wow, for real?
Because we had to go to a Medium. We had like maybe a month or something to get everything together. We had to get outfits. We had
Mommy
to
God
organize.
was watching from afar. Mommy God was on the
passports had to
plane.
organize. It was a real thing. Real business thing had to organize that. That time we didn't have no manager. We just making music and most of the business stuff Robert and them handle. But
right.
So we basically said to Mommy where we needed to manage us, and she stepped in, bless her heart, and handled us. We ended up getting big up Anthony Zoom Saloon. Mommy got us a meeting with Zoom, and we explained to Zoom that we're going to meet them and we want to represent Trinidad. Zoom at that time had a clothing line with like jeans, but like in Caribbean colors and batik jerseys, very islandy looking.
Yeah.
So we thought it would be a good fit, and Mommy had a preliminary conversation with him, explained to him, well, this is what's going on, Then them come in and explain the details to him. And once we came in and talked to him, Zoom graciously allowed us to be basically brand ambassadors for the line.
Fine.
So he gave us a bunch of clothes and say anything else or any link me back, thing. So everybody had enough outfits.
Yeah,
he had boots and stuff, so we got boots. So we went up there looking very fresh, but also again very Caribbean, very islandy, you know.
Yeah, that's a vibe.
So, and everything else, she made sure she called somebody that she knew in London, because she asked for the itinerary and found out that we'd have a layover in Heathrow for like 3 hours. So she called somebody we knew in London, because this is the winter time, February.
Yeah.
It was below zero when we got to France. So she
yeah.
called somebody she knew in London that was living out there and said, Gail, I needed to buy some coats, these are the sizes, and bring them to the airport at this time for them fellas and them, so they go have winter coats when we were going over there. Like, she was handling.
Yeah, wow, she was sorted.
Yeah, I always
Mommy
say,
Gordon,
big
boy,
up my mommy for
I'll
that.
be loving it, boy. I'll be loving it. Because, like as we always know, this is such a refreshing story for me, because most parents in that time, as she said, like, you want your child to go get a comfortable job, make a thing, get a little pay, stability, live nice, thing, keep it simple. But I guess the maturity to not just want more for your child, but also put him in a position where you're learning from him too now.
Yeah.
So it's such a nice part of the story to hear. Though, 'cause I thinking mommy over here watching what going on over, so I know that mommy on the trip.
Yeah.
She reminded me of this, I think yesterday or the day before when we were talking about doing this interview. And she reminded me that right before the caravan point, right at the point when I was still in Envoys, before we fully did the blackmail thing, but we already had CSB and stuff. We were kind of half doing it. I still had my day job and I was kind of balancing. She reminded me that I had like a serious medical issue where I had like a gaseous obstruction in one of my intestines.
Okay.
And I was like, they were like, we want to operate, but we kind of think so. I was in the hospital for a few weeks well on drips and really horrible pain. And I was like, they were like, we don't know what we do. Because where the gaseous obstruction was, they would have had to move organs aside. It was a whole drama. So they were like, we hoping it moves so we don't have to go in because going in is real risky. Eventually, the gaseous obstruction moved and I was all right. But by the time I came home, I was still bedridden for a good month before I could go back to work and start back recording stuff. And when I was home, I remember saying to mommy, when I was starting to get better, I was like, mommy, this make me really think about what I'm doing, and I really fed up. That was when I decided I had to get rid of this job and do this for the first time. And then once I said that, and she realized how serious I was, and the moment when my life flashing before my eyes, I think that was the thing that I focused on. At that point, she was like, okay, whatever you need me to do, just let me know I did.
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
To her credit. All right, so I want to open up the phone line 6223937, and we still have plenty to talk about. So you gotta come back next week because we still in CSB.
But remember when you called me and you said when they come in Saturday after the 2, I was like, John, I don't know if that is enough time. The catalog is long,
yeah.
30 years next year. 93 could be 93 to 2023 to years.
So we're talking with Patrick Vybe Gordon, and of course Mommy Gordon is here as well. 6223937. Feel free to call in if you have a question or two for Patrick Vybe Gordon. Now this was big, Medium was big.
Yeah.
The album does well.
Yeah.
Then you'll release a second album.
Yeah. Well, an EP really. Yeah.
An EP at graduation, right?
Yeah.
Which came in time for graduation time in Trinidad,
that was
right?
We literally set up that way. We went to Robert. Well, okay, I don't understand this, right? So we went to Medium. We got a record deal with EMI France, which was huge at the time. Big
that was through Christian Cabaza, by chance?
We went to meet them we did showcases every night for the week that we had meet them.
Right.
And so after the first night, Christian was in the club where we did the showcase and he was blown away, Christian Cabaza. And then he came to us and I introduced him to Robert and stuff. And he was like, I want to help you all get a deal. I've done deals for these people. He had done the deal for
Blue Man Group, yeah.
So
instrumental in things like Kevin Little. We take a little small plug and big up Christian.
He has been a part of a lot of this. He was part of Marshall,
yes. Kevin Little, Rupee,
right.
Rest
and
in
what
peace,
a lot of people
Christian
don't
Cabaza.
realize is that because he had encountered us and come to Trinidad from encountering us was how we got into soca and everything and led to all those things.
All right, so let's take a pin. Let's take a call. Hello. Good afternoon. Welcome.
Afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon to you.
John, you're always doing a nice job. Big up yourself.
Thank you, man.
A special afternoon to Mrs. Marlon Gordon. I didn't know you had a wonderful and beautiful son like that. I didn't know that.
You know this is right? Daddy Scratch.
Hey, big up Scratch, boy.
Patrick, boy, I ain't lying, boy. Since I know you, boy, I'm always proud of you. You're amazing. You're talented.
Thank you, bro.
Remember, we little bring out a group called Big Artist.
Big Artist Crew, yeah. We go get to that later. That might be next week.
That's for next week.
Yeah.
And you always go good with Terry Keys.
Yeah, Terry Keys, Michelle Sylvester, Nadia Batson, Michelle Alicia, the whole clique.
Alicia, all you do real good.
Yeah.
And all those, no. So keep on doing what you're doing. Stay strong. God bless you. God bless your mother. Talented fella, miss.
All right. Thanks a lot. Yeah, man. All the best.
Bless, man. Thanks.
Yeah, man. Big up Scratch.
Good afternoon.
Big up Scratch from back in the days.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning. Is
afternoon
this,
to you.
95.5?
Yes, it is.
You just said that you'd like anyone to call in.
Yeah.
I'd just like to call in to talk to Mr. Vybe, Patrick Gordon, and to say hello to his mother.
They're both on the air and
they're both here right listening to you right now. Go ahead.
Okay. Good morning, Mrs. Gordon, and good morning, Patrick Vybe Gordon. This is Carla Ortiz call again. So happy to hear you, Patrick.
More than Auntie Carla.
Well done. Mom Goddess, you are the bomb. That is what we do as parents. We listen to our children. We know what we may think we like for them. But when you hear what they want, you go, that's what you want. Go for it. You did it, Patrick. You both did it. Congrats. Have a great one.
Thank
All
you.
the best.
Thanks
Keep
for the
it
call.
going.
Okay,
Talk
bye-bye.
soon.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon, John, and the guys there. You know, I remember, I don't know the guys and them like that, but I remember the period, I remember the time. It was about the most exciting time we had in this country surrounding the more or less R&B, hip-hop / rap. Innovation.
Yeah.
Full stop. Innovation, and that's why I am convinced that we don't need all that foreign content, because we have people here who could produce that music. They did it before and they could do it again.
And they still, many of them still doing it.
Yeah, and you
like
understand?
Patrick, you know.
It's a transformation. We straddling the boundaries of soca, calypso, reggae, R&B, hip hop. I mean, across the spectrum. I have heard Trinidadians produce all those mediums already and are good, looking for the perfect beat, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Looking for the perfect beat. So when...
I said facts.
Yeah, so when they want to tell me that, you know, it's somehow in print that we have to play, you know, 65% or 70% of foreign content here and not give local content a 60-40, be 60 in our favor. In Canada and these countries, that's how it is, you know.
That's right, yeah.
That's how it is. You cannot play other people's music more than you're playing the citizenry or the national music, you know, or creative creations, you know.
The music created by nationals, yeah.
Look, for instance, John, I mean, really, boy, really, I mean, we now come out a soca season where produce real music. I hear something from Ricky Jide. That tune is a bomb. Me hear that on the radio as much.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I hear
you
you.
have a groovy something. It badass. Me lying to tell you that.
All right.
Me hear that. But I want to say, and I put in a plug in that we should play more of the music, and once they get the guys an opportunity, they will produce it.
That's
and
right.
we will enjoy it the same way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Come on.
Well said.
Facts. He should get a work in Ministry of Culture. One time.
Some more blackmail.
Baby, I can't seem to help myself. You drive me wild. I want you so bad, 'cause you're the best thing that
Good afternoon. Welcome. Produced by Shell Shock Benjamin.
And
what
was the other guy you just said?
This song?
Yeah.
This producer was produced by Sprague Doogie, who was the co-producer of Teddy Riley's SWV Human Nature remix. I get so.
Sprague, yeah. Good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon. Yeah. This is scientist. I would like to congratulate Vybe and his mom, and you guys do an excellent job. And they talk about Teddy Riley there. One of the albums that Teddy Riley had produced there from Black Street.
Yeah,
also
that's right.
got Grammys and so on.
Facts.
Yeah. And apart from that, seeing this, it's fitting that Robert Amaro should get a national award. Because seeing the contribution to the ghettos and give opportunities and all that to the young people, and so he did a lot in the country in terms of the music industry and so on. And it's only fitting that he should also get a national award.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Right, so yeah, some more. And this is produced by Sprague, written by Patrick Vybe Gordon, and the members of
and Maka. Give Maka. I gotta give Maka. He plugged. He threw some lines in this.
And Mommy Gordon is still with us. Mrs. Gordon, you ought to take some serious credit for giving Patrick the space to do what he had to do.
Amen.
Thanks. Yeah. Hello. Good afternoon to you. Hello. Hello. What's happening there? Hello. Oh.
Hello?
That's what's happening there.
That's what's happening
Good
there.
afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you all?
We are fantastic.
Very nice. I just want to say something that's not related to the subject matter. I've been trying to get into the station last week with Tony and Dale, but unfortunately not. But I think I need to highlight this to the...
No, you can't highlight it. Not now. We're on a different topic, and no.
Can I call you back?
Not today.
Okay. All
Have
right.
a good one.
Thanks
Thanks
a
for
lot.
calling. Yeah. Now we ain't shifting this. We're doing this. Right. So, Patrick, you're writing.
There's we on the part where y'all released the EP for graduation.
Okay, so we had gotten the deal. We were signed, and then we started to rehearse for the tour. We got Noble Douglas, had some of her younger dancers, Elisha Bartels, and a bunch of other people were helping us choreograph basically a set, so like a 45-minute show.
Yeah.
Because the EMI France wanted us to go on tour ASAP and stuff, because they were like the thing that we signed them for because the performance was so
good. Yeah,
we performed like it was a fete in Trinidad, so you have people on the table, champagne spraying thing.
Yeah,
so they were like, we need to get them on tour. So we rehearsing, and Robert and them had us rehearsing in the studio every day. So then years passed, and then Robert and them were like, well, hold off on that tour. We'll keep them rehearsing, but hold off on that tour because we're trying to get them a North American deal. Atlantic is interested, they express interest and stuff. So we then at that point, Atlantic was like, we like it, but it needs to be a little more American for our side of the pond. It go work in Europe, but we don't think it will work in America. We need. And then Robert was like, oh, coincidentally, we have Teddy Riley and them here. Let me ask Teddy if they could help, tweak some of the songs. So they did some remixes, and then they did some new songs, of which that song that you just played was one.
Right.
So we had a bunch of remixes and new songs like this, a remix of As We Move, with using the sample from Slick Rick, Bedtime Stories, Children's Story. And we had a bunch of unreleased tracks that we were sitting down waiting for that deal to happen, and then it just kept going on and on and on. Years passed, and I went on to do other things. Joe the Taxi was recorded. The Carnival of 1997, when this at graduation came out, was the Carnival I did Wo Jean with Billy D. Soca Billy Jean thing with Michael Jackson, local Michael Jackson, and Stevenson. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
So I was doing all this other stuff, but I was in the back of my mind, I was still like, we have all this blackmail stuff and we need to release it. So basically, Mark, Chris, and I went to Uncle Robert and sat him down and said, look, we have all this stuff. I don't know what's going on with Tony and that deal, but we need to release something. It's been 2 or 3 years since 1997 from 94. We need to release some new stuff. They're still playing stuff on the album, but we need new things. We want people to hear the new stuff and to know that we're working with Teddy and stuff. So we got them to agree, okay, we released 4 songs, and then we kind of marketed it to them as we'll release it in June in time for graduation time, and we'll call it At Graduation. So it's us stepping up to the next level. We have some with Teddy Riley, Sprague produced tune, we rapping, so.
And then 97 was also the year of this.
Yes, well, this is the original lover in all your area. Special dedication to the girls, them all over. Me and my girl Charlene just step on the scene, you know what I mean? With a rampant skin, listen to what we're saying. Well,
Sur le taxi va pas partout. Marche vers soda.
let's say.
Son saxo jaune. Connaît tous les parfums. Tous les plus bas.
Understand that?
Tous les coins noirs. Et la scène.
Know what I mean?
Et ces ponts qui brillent dans sa caisse. La musique à chaud, c'est la rumba.
Let us run,
Rumba, le dehors au mambo.
Oh, when they say it's a serious thing.
Sur le taxi, c'est ta vie.
And this was huge. This was huge in Trinidad.
Huge is
in
an
the French
understatement.
Caribbean.
Huge is an
in
understatement.
France. This was just
Huge is an understatement.
So give us this story.
Why, this is a whole... Okay, so again, as I said, the blackmail thing was kind of in a limbo.
Right.
So in order to keep myself busy and also eat our food, I was doing other hustling. My main hustle at that time was I had co-produced and co-written a song called Woji. Everybody knows it as Soca Billie Jean.
Right.
For the local Michael Jackson, Andy Stevenson. Again, may he rest in peace. And that was like one of the biggest songs for Carnival in 1997. So that song had released, was on the airwaves, was mashing up. Andy was getting booked in Fetty. We were doing...
it was all over the place.
We were doing Spectacular Tent.
Yeah.
So we were doing 5-6 gigs a day. Running around, and I was the only person in the crew that had a car, so I was driving everybody around in addition to singing background vocals, sometimes dancing too, whatever. So I ran up and down with Andy, and then I get a call from my mom saying, Auntie Jasmine, now her and Jasmine Boudram, Charlene's mom, and Uncle Frankie Boudram go way back. I remember going by them in Speedway being like 7, 8, and them hanging out online.
Yeah.
So mommy calls and says, Auntie Jasmine called and she needed a favor from you. She needed to help do a song with Charlene. I was like, no problem, that little sister, that I know see. But it's when I'm busy right now, I can do it after Carnival. And she's like, no, it needs to happen now. They want to link you to go in the studio. She said, call Mice as Mice doing the session. Now, I had known Mice from CSB days.
Right.
He was another in-house producer.
And you're talking about Martin Mice.
Martin Mice Raymond. The genius, I call him.
Yeah.
He's a real unsung hero in my mind. He's been a part of a lot of movements in Trinidad, but who doesn't really get this kind of shine, I believe.
Because he's busy creating movements.
And he's very low-key too.
He's
big up Mice wherever he is. So I called Mice. Mice said, we're going to be in the studio tomorrow. Come at X time. I say, okay, I don't have much time that day because we have a gig at X time. I can come at so time, but when you have maybe a half an hour, 45 minutes. He said, no problem, come through. So I came and he basically played the song for me and explained Shani wanted to do the song. It was like a big pop song in French in France and all the French territories. And he wanted Shani to do it with like a Caribbean vibe. And they needed a feature. They needed somebody to like rap on it or chant or something. And I said to Shani, well, okay, so what kind of chanting you want? Like, if it can have anybody chanting on the track, you know, who you would want to get an idea of the style now. And she was like, I feel it's something like a Shaggy, remember, like Oh Carolina. And so I was like, all right, cool. I was like, I ain't had time already, so don't want to write no big sort of thing. Running behind time because Andrew and them in the car, Andy and them in the car waiting on me all this time. I think Alicia was in the session when Andrew was outside. So I was like, I don't have much time. I could just freestyle something and he would tell me if it could work. So he was like, all right. So he played down for me to get where the bars are and where I fit in. And he's like, and do ad-libs in between and I could just pick out what I need and what I don't need. So basically, long story short, I freestyle the whole song. I just tried to say stuff about Charlene and they explained to me the English version of what the song was about, a taxi driver and the girls like him and he used to play the sax. So I just freestyle about that stuff and throwing some Charlene stuff. And I was like, Mice, that good for you? And Mice played it back a couple of times like, yeah, I can make this work as Mice does. He should. I think I can make this work. I was like, all right, cool, well, call me if you need anything else. But I'm busy. And I go and I started cutting gigs. We doing shows, we running up on stage with Square One thing. Peace. Yeah. So we finished the Carnival and you have one of the biggest songs for the Carnival. He came 5th in Soca Monarch. It was a whole drama. Boom, now around June, beginning of July, I get a call from Jean-Michel Gibert, who also coincidentally came to Trinidad as a result of that medium thing. He was like our interpreter. So he was like, Robert, and I hired him just to translate and liaise people that can speak French as well. And he also fell in love with the Trinidad vibe and soca and stuff and ended up moving here and starting the Rituals label, which Charlene got signed to. Charlene was signed to at the time. So I got a call from Jean-Michel saying he would need to meet with me to talk about the Charlene song. I was like, okay, cool. Carnival done our time. Go on to Jean-Michel office and Jean-Michel tells me, Patrick, I just want you to know that the song is number 1 in French Guyana, number 1 in Martinique, number 1 in Guadeloupe. I was like, number
so
one.
Just like
number 1 like on a radio station. He's like, no, in the country. Number 1. Yeah. It's the number 1 song. And they want you to do some shows with Charlene. And I was like, okay. Now, bear in mind, what you have to understand is that this 1997 was the year Michael Jackson put out the Invincible album.
Yes.
Right? So this meant that we were beating Michael Jackson on charts in all the French islands. And it was like, it was real big on the underground in Paris as well. Yes. The people were calling to talk about these with Charlene or Charlene and I or some kind of thing. And Charlene had gigs lined up and they wanted us to do gigs. So we ended up doing some shows, Martinique, French Guyana. French Guyana was the first show. And we just went over there thinking we have a song. Okay, maybe it's number 1, but like it's one song.
Cool, yeah. People come up, they gonna know it. That's cool.
So we get off. We land on a little Liat plane. They open the door for the plane and we come out, and the whole airport is rammed with teenagers screaming like it's the Beatles. And I watching Charlie and she watching me like, what is happening? And the people that were promoting the show were like, yeah, they're here for you. Your song is very big here and stuff. And that was it for everywhere else we went was that kind of vibe where it was like, Michael Jackson or the Beatles or the Rolling Stones, something sure, but just screaming teenagers. And we ended up having, we sang, Charlie sang like a couple of her other songs and then brought me out to close the show. And we sang the song and finished and we were like, thank you, good night. And they were just like, hey. And the people was like, sing it again. So we ended up singing the song like 5 times because they wouldn't let us leave. We were mobbed at the airport, they mobbed in the hotel, they went to get food at a restaurant, we get mobbed there. It was just like, that was my first taste of like celebrity. I was like, I can get used to this.
It's our vibe.
Yeah. So that was like the first big international like people who are resonating with the song.
And 6223937, we're still taking calls. If you want to talk to Patrick.
Also have to big up Daniel Defentala who shot the music video. That had a big part.
I was not going to say.
I just remember getting a call randomly and they telling me in a week we're gonna shoot the music video. Daniel Defentala gonna shoot it. I had known her because I know Kessa and the whole family since way back when Kessa and them were like doing cover stuff and in the Anchorage pop band. So I had known her, so it was comfortable for me too because we know each other and stuff. She did a great job.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon to you, my dearie.
How are you doing?
Good afternoon to your guest there.
Yeah.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon. Well, I'm just listening to the program. Actually, I just tuning in on the summit. John Gill?
Yep.
You realize who's speaking to you, okay?
I do, of course.
Right, yes. I ain't too long get home and I put on the radio. So I just call it good afternoon to you all. And be safe out there, right? John Benoit, good afternoon to you also. Right, and you all have a good one.
All right, Maria.
Thank you very much.
Right, so...
Yeah, and that was also the first moment that people started to recognize me outside. Because before, people didn't really used to make me out unless it was me, Marker, and Chris, or me and Shock or something.
Right.
Like, unless Blackmail was assembled, they used to see us as a group. But like, I could go anymore by myself and nobody would
take it out.
I was like,
but after this, Jolo Taxi.
Yeah, once the video for Jolo Taxi came out, everyone was like, Jolo Taxi!
You're right, yeah. You was like Iron Man. Otherwise, it was
kind of a thing for me because I had kept, it reached a point where I was like, my name is Vibe. Because people would be like, Jolo Taxi! I was like, yeah, but my name is Vibe. Vibe is my name.
But there are people that confused you with when the song first came out. There are people who really felt it was Shaggy.
Yeah. I got that a lot.
Shaggy.
This classic Trinidad.
Yeah.
Classic Trinidad.
Now,
will always call somebody by the wrong name.
We're going to spend a lot more time on that next week.
Yeah.
But so this Blackmail, Jola Taxi.
Yeah.
When did you begin to start writing for other people?
I mean, again, that always was from since the Caravan Shock always had me either co-writing, helping the writing arrangement, help with the vocal arrangement. I was always like, and even sometimes like we would have a part in the song for Marker, and Marker would start writing, and I'd be like, no, say this instead, say this, do these 2 lines, do these 4 lines. So I always had this kind of inkling for that. And when Shock and I used to talk about, even in the Blackmail days, we used to talk about like what we go do as old fogies. Shock was always well, after Blackmail break up and disband and saying I go be a producer, and obviously you were right because duh. So it was always kind of a kernel in my head. And then once things started to move again, like for instance the Andy Stevenson thing was Andy had this idea. He was doing a lot of shows as the local Michael Jackson, impersonating Michael to Michael songs. And then he was saying, I mean, we were linemen a day, and he was saying, boy, I wish I could find a way to get paid during Carnival doing the Michael thing, but nobody ain't on that Michael Jackson thing during Carnival. And I said as a joke, is a pity Michael. And saying, I so can. He's like, I wish we could make that happen. And it just kind of turned into that idea of a song. We just kind of... He had the basic idea, and me and Alicia kind of fleshed it out into a song. Then Alicia wanted to sing, so I helped her writing her little songs in the earlys. I'm not a singer and all these things. I kind of co-wrote those. Yeah. And then, after that, I just kept going. People would keep, once people knew me as a solo entity, people would keep asking, you can help me with a song or write a song for me. And then it just kept going. Terry Seals, Misha Sylvester, Nadia Batson, Miss Alicia. And it kept going and going and going. It was just like a natural progression.
Andy, what would have been the next song that you would have written that became big? And who's the artist? Would it have been, because I know you've written like Denise Belfort?
Wow. The next one would have been the Denise Belfort work, I think. Which ironically at the time wasn't such a huge deal in Trinidad. So Nasty, and that's Nasty Hackett, the producer. He was popular at the time because he had done like Iowa George Tractor, he had done Toro for Machel, so he was like a big producer at the time. He and Shock was going head to head, tune for tune at that time. There was a big rivalry. And he had asked me to come in and basically be his in-house writer because he had a bunch of beats, but he didn't write like lyrics and stuff. So I came in to be the writer, and also Marco was now trying to be an engineer, now learning to engineer and doing his first gigs and stuff. So Marco was the engineer, I was the writer, and then he had other little people like Harkness Tate came in, and Harkness had the original idea for work. He just had the words, but he had no melody. Right. So I kind of came up with the melody and we made that into a song. And then once we came up with the song on the beat that Nasty had, I thought to myself, who can pull off this song, boy? This is a real raunchy song. I thought, aha, Denise Belfort. Like the person fit. Sure. So I had a Denise number. I gave her a call in Belmont. Went to her house, played it for her, brought her back to the studio. She recorded it. We did the backgrounds, ting.
All right, stick up in. We have a call on the line. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. I would just like to give a shout out to Miss Marlene Gordon.
Sure. She's still here, I think. Mommy is still there, right? I think I hear in any background. But
hello?
Yes, she's there. Somebody just saying hi to you.
Hello.
Yeah, this is Francis Alexander.
Boy, I need to talk to you urgently. I really need to talk to you, Francis.
All right, so Francis, you need to contact her, all right? But thanks for the call. All right?
All right.
Take
Okay,
care.
good.
Right. So
So we basically, long story short, Denise cut the song, and Nasty put it out. It wasn't actually that. It played in Trinidad, but it was like a big thing. And then it got to like New York, all the other places in the diaspora, the London, all over America, the other islands. It was big everywhere else but here. And then several years later, Master at Work kind of remastered it and put it out as a major label release. And that's Work.
Right, so Work, and you wrote this for Denise.
Yeah.
But as you're saying...
Well, I always want to like to credit all the other people involved. Big up Harkness State, because he came with the bass idea, and I just kind of enhanced and made it make sense, brought melodies, came up with the idea of using Denise, linked Denise, all that kind of stuff.
Right,
So,
and but this was done in what year?
it would have been recorded in late 98 for Carnival 99, released for Carnival 99 on
Didn't
Banana
go
Nasty
anywhere.
compilation. It played on the radio a little bit, but it wasn't like a big mash down the place thing in Trinidad. But once Carnival was done here, and it went to New York, Toronto, Boston, the UK, and all the other islands, it was big everywhere else. Because I remember by that time, 99, I had joined Atlantic, so I was touring and doing shows outside of Trinidad. Everywhere else I would go, this work song was big, and I was like, how come this song not playing in Trinidad? I didn't really study it, and then you fast forward to years later on now, like in 2001 or thereabouts, Masters at Work, which is a huge EDM producer DJ group from the UK, had put it out, in the UK, they had put it out as like they had remastered it. So they basically took all the original stems, all the music and everything, and just tweaked it a little bit and put it back out as a new song.
Yeah, okay. Just give it life again.
Yeah, and did the video with Denise Belfort, was on a major
New
label.
York and yeah.
So it was very big in Europe and the underground. They ended up flying out Denise to do the MTV Europe Awards. It was a whole thing. I didn't know, because this is like early internet days. This is like MySpace days. So we weren't as up to date. So I didn't even know all of this happened until about 2004, 2005, when Denise had linked me, because Jean-Michel was managing her again. See how Jean-Michel come back around.
Yeah, he come back.
He managing her now, and he and her were telling me that they had offers for a solo deal for her based on the success of Work in Europe. And I was like, wait, Work? The song I do with Denise? And he was like, yeah, you don't know that song, Big in Things? And he showed me the video, and I kind of caught up. I was like, wow, I didn't even know all of this was happening. And then that deal never quite happened for a bunch of legal drama reasons. But that was how that whole thing.
You keep getting a bunch of random surprises. You just keep ending up on people's tunes.
Dude, what you had to understand is, especially at that point in my career, I was just doing thing and moving on to the next thing. Just what's the next thing? What's the next thing? And on top of that already, drive that I, to be fair, got from Shock. Because Shock was that same way. Next thing. Let me do tunes. 5 tunes a day, 6 tunes a day. Let me go. So I was in that mode. And then in '98, my son was born. So then there was an added level of, okay, now I have this other human being to provide for. So now it wasn't even like I could do things for kicks. Now I was like, I had to do more things, but also I had to pay me for my thing now. Which was when I started to get serious about the writing aspect. Because you could only do so many gigs, but you can write 10 songs in a day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you started to concentrate more
so
on
I was
writing.
like, I was getting offers to write, and I was negotiating to get paid to write 50%, because the poor people would just be like, I need a song. All right, thanks, Vybe, man. That's the end of that. But at that point, I started saying, I need so much.
And that wouldn't have been hard based on what your track record would have been by this
By that time, everybody don't know Vybe could write. So that there wasn't a question of if.
You didn't have to haggle too much.
It was the how much and was the details and how we working out the writer split and all that kind of thing. Thankfully, because of the major label deal too, I had known about publishing and writer splits and credits. So
important.
All of that I was negotiating at the time too. So which is where the Nasty thing I going. I did like a couple albums with Nasty Well, and that was just one song off of the couple albums.
Right.
So you could easily see me doing an album after this with Nasty. He put it out, and I go on. I join Atlantic. I do an album with them, with me on it. I do, and so on and so on. So by 2005, I do 10,000 things after that. Study that again, and then that's when I found out about that. It was a whole shock to my system. And then this is one of those songs that I did. That I'm proud of because it keeps coming back around every
and
few
it has
years.
come back around.
Yeah, it came
even
back around.
in 2022.
Yeah, the DJ Flex Afrobeats version, and then now the Shensia.
Yeah.
So it just is one of those songs that just keeps rejuvenating itself. It never dies. So, which is the goal. When you write something, that's what you want.
When you write something that good, that's kind of what happens
that resonates.
naturally.
Yeah. And that's my whole thing with which is why I'm a lot more picky now. Because I am just like, is this going to make a difference in the catalog?
Yeah.
And this would be, I wonder if this is a clean version, right?
I don't know.
Maybe
play the DJ Flex.
Yeah, I mean.
But anyhow, but people know it.
Yeah.
The Shensia and Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah. The version, that interpolation.
Again was another. I minded my business, and Casey Phillips mentioned me like, dude, you on Twitter? What's going on? I was like, how you mean? Why I had to be on Twitter? He's like, go on Twitter now. When I went on Twitter, the Shensia Dennis Belfort link was trending, and that's why I found out it was a thing.
Wow.
So it's just like it just keeps
coming back.
Yeah,
that's a vibe though.
And that's one of the nice things, I guess, about writing music. That I mean, it could appear long after having written. So and so now Vybe is what, a full-time writer? Because we're getting into the end of today's session.
Yeah. I would say right now writing has been the main thing for the last, I don't know, decade, I guess, since like 2009.
And you kind of had your hand in quite a few decent things, to be very honest with you.
So next week we're gonna deal with that decade of Vybe the writer, because we have dealt with Vybe the producer.
We now reached 2000.
Yeah. I told John this. I was like, John, the catalog is long, bro.
The hike now start again nice. The hike, the leg now starts to go in the hike. We good.
But I have something for the 26th already, so we gotta try and wrap it up next week. But definitely next week we'll have Vybe back, and we had to talk to Uncle Cliff. Cliff, he was in Atlantic. We had to talk to him. You understand? And we'll talk more about the writing and for people to understand.
And I'll get my lawyers in touch to see how much publishing they get to make sure that she getting her face splits.
No comment on the advice of my lawyer and legal counsel. I would like to say that I cannot say anything.
I make sure mommy gets she splits. Mommy gets she publishing there easy.
Bro.
Nah, but it was such a vibe to hear like the fast track version of it coming up.
Yeah, and that's really the fast track is
that's fast track because it's plenty stories in between there that I
Trust
know.
me, John said I'll send me a few of the highlight tracks so I know and that took me a whole day to just go through everything and narrow down.
I like what I like about it is that we've had Robert on the show, Marco on the show, Mice on the show,
Dice on the show,
and everyone tells the stories the same.
Yeah.
Like there's no it's different.
Yeah, it's
different
just
people, but it's the exact same story every time.
And there's a lot of what the great thing about that era from Caravan Come Up to now is the intersection keeps happening. You see the same people, the Jean-Michel, the Mice, the Dice, the everything just keeps re-intersecting.
Just the other day I was on the phone with Dice, and
it's one of those things where all those characters still circling,
Because when Mice was there, Mice was like, yeah, but I was doing this thing with Charlie when we were doing Joe Taxi, you kind of needed this thing, and we had a conversation about it, like, aggressive, like the Shaggy type thing, and I was like, I'll call Vibe, and Vibe was like, he could make it, and I was like, just come, and he's like literally in the studio, and some people waiting in the car, and he just come around. Mice had the exact same story.
Because it's the real
story.
And in those days, it had no drama, it had no reason to embellish, we just,
This is what I like, because these stories just keep coming together now, boy.
Woo,
so we leave with this one.
Hey.
Rest in peace, Andy Stevenson.
Performed by Andy Stevenson.
Local Michael Jackson.
Facts.
Right, so next week we'll be back with more of Patrick Vybe Gordon. And Patrick, thank you very much. Mommy,
you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Bro. You're welcome, John.
Right, so all the best. Have a good weekend.